Hello, Internet. Ooh, that came in slowly. Hello, Internet, and welcome. This is our first game of Star Wars, the Fantasy Flight game. This is Dork Tales, and welcome to our own little Star Wars movie. I am going to be the storyteller, or game master, or Sith Lord. I don't know what it's called in this system. I actually forgot. But hi, I'm Kelly. I'm the one who runs games for this channel. And let me introduce you to the players tonight. So, starting on my left.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I am playing Karis Soul, the human technician, specifically the mechanic tree.
Okay, Carousel, and then a new member of the chat who, or pardon me, of the stream, who was instrumental in basically being Generic's first listener that wasn't my mom, and has done a lot of great art for us. It's really good to finally have him on the team. Neil.
Hi, I'm Neil, and tonight I'll be playing Mox Cardis, who's a human smuggler and maybe a bit of a scoundrel.
And a scruffy nerf herder.
Only if you listen to the lies.
That's all I listen to. All right, and then...
Oh, hi. I'm Caitlin. Tonight I'll be playing Aura Olden, a rebel scout.
Nice. All right, so we are playing the Star Wars Final Fantasy game. Fantasy Flight game, and there we go. Now we're in space.
Ooh.
Because we should have started like that, but I didn't do it that way correctly. If you're listening to us on podcast, we're trying some new audio equipment, so hopefully it sounds really good for you. If not, we probably won't post it. So, Fantasy Flight put out a fantastic Star Wars game a few years ago that is... It's a little pricey, so a lot of people haven't played it, as far as I can tell, but I've always enjoyed my time with it. And I thought that with the new movie coming out, this would be a really fun enterprise. So what we have right now is we're starting off a game that is set roughly 5 years after the Battle of Endor. The Empire is on the ropes, if not completely defeated, because I believe Jakku was 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, somewhere in there. However, we are not in that part of the galaxy. Our story takes place in the Outer Rim, near wild space. In fact, we're near the planet of Kali. Or is it Kaylee? Kelly. No. Near the planet of Kali. On a small planet called Orebos. But first, take a look at our opening crawl. Above you is nothing but blackness. As you look around, it's nothing but starlight, as far as you can see. And as the camera slowly pans across the distant blackness, a small trio of X-Wings comes into view. Caitlin, your character's squadron, what color? What's your call color?
Feeling blue.
And what number are you? Blue 2?
Yeah.
All right. Over the comms, you can hear... Blue 2, this is Blue 1. Checking in. Over.
Blue 1, this is Blue 2. Roger that, over.
Blue 3 chiming in. All right, let's do another sweep through here. Strange readings on the scout droids that were coming through here. I'm picking up some strange readings on my R2 unit. Do you have anything, Blue 2?
Which location are you looking in, Blue 1?
As you say that, you can see that each of your X-Wings R2 units are busy running scanning operations of the local area. In the Outer Rim here, there's not terribly much to see. And as you look down, you can see that there are a few planets in this system. 4, to be precise. And one of them is giving off why don't you make me a roll?
Sure.
Your first one of the game.
Okay.
And it is going to be, while I acclimatize myself to this new system, it is going to be an vigilance or computers? We'll say computers. And intellect roll. However, you can treat yourself as having 3 points in whichever one you are lowest in, because your droid is helping.
Okay.
And your droid's name, so you have an R2 unit at the back as R2 T9.
Okay. Okay, so sorry, I don't have computers, but I have 2 intellect.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to roll 1 green one,
Yeah.
2 yellow ones, and 2 purple ones.
Okay.
And then you're looking for things that look like explosions.
Am I
On
though? Okay.
on these guys, you're looking for so they use a different type of dice in here. So on these guys, you're looking at these. And then on the purple ones, you want as few triangles as possible.
Well, that's a problem. Okay, so I got 2 explosions.
Okay.
What do we call them?
Successes.
Successes. And then 1. Are the other symbols on the other one?
All right, so calculate them up real quick.
Okay.
What's your net total? Negatives or positives?
Because the triangles are failures, so they
Yeah.
take away successes.
So -1.
You have -1
and
total?
Then, yeah.
Okay.
But then,
With advantage.
with advantage. But then 1 disadvantage?
So the advantage and disadvantage cancel each other out.
Okay. So -1.
-1, all right. So as you are sitting there, you floating through space, looking at the other blue fighters, you can hear your R2 scanning the distance.
Oh.
That basically translates to nothing really.
Nothing.
I don't really hear anything.
Blue
There's-
one, I'm not seeing anything out here.
It's
Over.
probably a false alarm.
Roger that. Continue on. Over.
Sounds good. Let's keep going. You get an echo over your comms. Blue 1, Blue 2, this is Blue 3. I'm detecting some signal from this nearby planet. Orebos 2. It's a code. Broadcast into the dark. It's an old code, but I think I can make it out. It seems Imperial? Gonna investigate, Blue Leader. Roger that. Head in. Blue 2, what's your status? Are you going to go after them, or?
Sure.
All right.
I'll follow.
All right.
Forward.
Your X-Wings press inward. And I want you to make one quick roll. And
Okay.
it's going to be a vigilance. And what's the percepti skill? Vigilance and, because I don't have a sheet in front of me. What's the characteristic?
Perception?
Is perception a skill?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So perception and vigilance, please.
Perception is a cunning skill.
So
Oh, sorry. What's the characteristic?
There's-
Is it wisdom?
cunning is with
No, it's
perception. With will is for vigilance. Willpower.
Oh, because I
Yeah.
forgot it's assigned to things. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been years since I played this. All right, so go ahead and make me a vigilance roll.
Okay.
Would you now? I know you can't see them because of how far I'm away. You have 3 light side tokens and 5 dark side tokens. So what I'm going to do, Caitlin, is I'm going to spend one of these to upgrade that purple to a red. So 1 purple becomes a red.
Okay.
And go ahead and roll.
I'm already real bad at this, so this is.
It's going to be great.
This is great. Whee! Nothing with disadvantage?
Nothing with disadvantage? How many negatives do you have?
I'm sorry, 2? I've
So-
got 2 successes and 2 failures.
Okay, so you got 0, 0.
Yeah.
All right, and your compatriot as well doesn't really seem to notice anything until it's too late. When your R2 unit and as you are approaching the planet, suddenly out of nowhere, a squadron of TIE fighters comes into view. You don't know how they snuck up on you, but they fly by, unleashing a gout of green laser fire on you.
Oh, shoot.
And we are going to enter combat now. You have failed your initiative check.
Yes.
So, what that's going to be is I'm going to make an attack on you. So,
Okay.
let's see. My guys have this. And I'm going to spend another dark side token. You can spend a light side token to make my roll more difficult if you'd like.
Sure.
All right, let's go ahead and do
Go
that.
back and
Boom. 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 Well, hell, that was actually pretty good. That was a good idea. All right. The TIE fighter zooms in, firing off a couple of shots over your head, but it's going to graze by you.
Ooh.
And it is going to... it's going to zoom by you, and you are going to be up now. What do you do?
Ooh. I'm gonna shoot back.
All right. So what that is going to be is it's going to be a gunnery check.
Okay.
You may add a blue dice, a bonus dice, to represent your R2 unit, giving you a little bit of advantage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Ba-ba-ba.
Ba-ba-ba. Righto.
Here we go.
Aha! I got 1 success and no advantage, disadvantage.
1 success?
Yeah.
All right. So you are flying an X-wing, which means you're going to do 8 points of damage immediately to this TIE fighter that's going to zoom by, and as you do so, oh, that's not it. Star Wars 7. There we go.
Mhm.
All right. So as you zoom by, you are going to take a couple of shots off, and there's going to be a as it explodes into a fireball amid the vacuum of space. And it's going to be another zoom by. Oh, damn. I rolled a triumph and a failure.
Oh, okay.
One of the TIE fighters is going to clip by you, dropping a barrage of blaster fire, of laser cannon fire above you, down into you. Blue 3 is going to reverse pace and meet it, firing, covering fire above you, but is not going to pull up in time. And the two ships are going to collide in a fireball directly above you, and you're going to hear your droid scream from behind you. All right. Oh, there we go. And I would like you to make me another attack roll. There are still about 4 of these TIE fighters in the air.
Okay. Still with that extra for my droid?
Yes, for this last round, yes.
Okay.
All right. Would you like to spend any tokens? Flip any destiny? You've got 4 and 3. Do it.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So you can either
remember.
you can upgrade one of yours.
Okay.
So flip one of your green dice into a yellow dice.
Yep.
All right. May the force be with you.
And also with you. Actually,
No, not
just
with
me. With you. Whenever you. Oh. 2 advantage, but 1 failure. So -1, 2 advantage.
All right, so you are going to fire a couple of shots off at the TIE Brigade, which is going to cause them to scatter, peeling off to the left and the right, which is not going to actually do them any damage, but it is going to give them... you've got how many advantage?
2 advantage.
All right, so that's going to give their next attack 2 negatives, because they're coming from a disadvantageous place. I am going to spend a force point, or a destiny point, I should say. And I'm going to try to wreck your day.
Okay.
Whoa. And that looks like a not wrecked day. I will say, though, that as one of them clips by so close that you can almost see into the cockpit as it flies by you, moving as quickly as anything, it's going to fire twice above you, and you are going to hear an explosion behind you as the bolt strikes your R2 unit and explodes it. You are going to take your R2 units down, and you are going to take a black dice going forward.
No, R2.
T9, no.
No, yeah, T9, no.
T9 mobile.
No.
All right, and you are up. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to shoot back.
All right, go ahead. You want to spend another? You got?
Yeah, I do actually.
You can spend multiples.
No, just 1.
Okay.
Just 1 for now.
I actually don't remember if you can spend multiples. I want to say you can.
Oh, okay. Ah! No successes and 2 advantage. I mean, 2 disadvantage. 2 disadvantage.
All right, so that is going to raise you up to... How many black dice do you have over there?
Just 1.
Just 1?
2.
Okay. So
Well,
I'm going to
at
say
1.
that that's actually going to give... So you're at 2 disadvantage and no successes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to say that that actually gives me a bonus on my next attack against you. So I'm going to flip a destiny dice back and let us see how this goes. In the distance, you can see blue one, your blue leader, engaging with 2 of the ties. He takes a couple of laser shots, I always think it's blaster, a couple of laser shots in the wing and starts spiraling out. He goes to pull up just in time for you to see a locked-on shot careen directly into his exhaust port and him ignite. And...
No.
Ooh, damn. Okay, that's 1, 2. That's 3, 4. All right, 1 in effect. You are going to be looking at that right as a tie surges overhead and is going to deal 3 points of damage directly to your X-Wing. I'll keep track of this for you because you don't have the stats in front of you.
Okay.
So your X-Wing has a threshold of 12, so you're about a quarter dead from that hit. Your shields they rock from that impact. And it's your attack again.
Ooh. Okay.
The squadron of ties turn to take out the lone Republic X-Wing. Spending anything?
Yes. Wait. Okay, I said it already.
All right.
Oh, 3 disadvantage, but 3 successes?
That is fantastic.
Nice.
So you are going to fly by,
Yeah.
aim your cannons, and then one of the ties is going to explode as you fly through the trail of vapor and flame that used to be that TIE fighter.
Yeah.
You are going to hear weep, 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 weep as your computer systems lock down. You're blind firing now. You're going to have to be using no targeting systems until you reboot your computer, and there's no time for that right now. Behind you, one of the 2 remaining TIE fighters is going to swarm up on your tail, and you almost can hear the pilot inside, "I have you now." And, well, that's prophetic. So this shot is going to get only 1 success, but is going to net me 3 advantage.
Ooh.
Which I am going to use to impose 2 black dice on you for your next attack. Just as you are just doing your best to maneuver at this point. Struggling to stay alive. What do you do?
Okay. My options are fight back.
You might be able to
Or-
lose him in the cloud cover of that planet up ahead. It looks like it has a very
Yeah.
thick atmosphere.
Yeah, maybe evasive maneuvers.
Alright, so why don't you give me a piloting check instead?
You're right. Space?
Space piloting.
Space
Unless you
piloting.
crash, then it's land piloting.
Oh no! Wait, is the...
Just fly casual.
Agility? Okay.
Fly casual is actually a maneuver.
Oh wait, it's just a 2? Oh, I think I've been...
You gonna spend any
I've been
points?
weird. No! I think I'm okay right now.
Holy, are you sure? Because you could get another yellow one.
No, that's okay right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see how this goes.
Okay. But wait, Caitlin,
Yes.
turn one of those into a red one. One of the purple ones.
Oh, well, okay, fine. I'll spend one.
Okay.
Can I have a yellow one?
Yeah.
We have so many of these
Oh,
dice.
what am I doing? What am I doing? I think it's supposed to be like this instead. I think it's like this instead.
Okay.
I was mistaken. I don't know. Victory!
You got a triumph?
A triumph! With 3 disadvantage and no successes. So,
Triumph is a critical success, though.
critical success.
So, on your triumph, you are going to punch it. You are going to push ahead, and you can use this to upgrade the difficulty of my next check, upgrade allied characters' next checks, or do something vital such as shooting the controls to the nearby blast doors to seal them off, things like that. So you can basically choose a cosmetic effect for this, or you can make life more difficult for me.
I'm gonna make life more difficult for you.
Okay, so I'm going to continue to chase you. I'm going to lose my bonus dice, and the 2 ties are going to close in on your tail, acting in unison, but you are imposing a red die for me. Would you like to spend another force token to imply another one? No? Okay. Well, heck, why don't I spend one to raise mine? And like this, and here we go. They are going to follow you as you punch through the upper layer of the atmosphere. And I'm going to cock that to be fair. And that is -1. Okay, that is 0 successes and 3 advantage.
Oh.
So as you fly in, the 2 ties are going to surround you, laying down fire, trying to pin you in. This is going to cause you to make your next roll at a difficulty of 3.
Okay.
So, just because you have so little maneuverability, give me another pilot check with 3 purples. You
Okay.
have 5 light side points.
I want to use one.
Okay, flipping to black.
What?
And go ahead.
Okay. I got it. I gotta be on top of this. Else I'm gonna lose all
Mhm.
this stuff. Wait, and I still have 2 black ones?
You do not. No,
Oh.
not anymore.
Oh,
You did for that 1 round.
it's confusing. Sorry.
You have the
Slow.
you have the 2 black
Alright.
ones going forward, or only on gunnery checks.
So, -1, but with 3 advantage.
Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to say that actually is going to give me. I'm going to take 3 black dice for this round because of
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And for those of you listening at home who may not, who may have a good sense of this system, and I may be doing this slightly incorrectly, I'm still relearning because it's been about 4 years since I played this last. But I got a hankering for Star Wars, as you do. All right, so you're going to punch through the stratosphere, and as you do, you're going to pull off some sick spins and barrel rolls from that guy. What was his name? Slippy? Slippy the Rhodian? Taught you all of these?
Probably.
And you, in fact, do your best to give them the slip. You are finding yourself that in the thick cloud cover, this planet is just blanketed in cumulostratus clouds, thick, black clouds. And as you enter and sail through them, you are a practiced pilot and are going to be able to sail through these water-soaked giants. This is a water planet. and everything is rain cloud. You're going to be buffeted around, and the TIE fighters aren't quite as aerodynamic as the X-Wing. They're going to be thrown around as well. And with that, they are going to try to give a couple of shots up your tailpipe.
Great.
As you are getting out of range, I'm going to spend...
I want to spend one too.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to upgrade that to that. And then... Okay, let's count. My God, that disadvantage, like the little black dice you gave them, were very useful. Holy crap. They are going to attempt to fire at you again, netting a total of minus 3 successes.
Okay.
And plus 2 advantage. But this roll was quite one for the ages. Caitlin, go ahead and roll. You're going to get a free upgrade on your next roll.
Okay.
So a free yellow upgrade.
Okay.
If you do not have any yellow upgrades to give, you can add another green.
Okay. No, that's okay. One was fine.
All right. You spending any more tokens? If you spend one, it'll add another green to your pool.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's green.
All right. And are you trying to fight back or just get away? You're trying to get away.
I'm kind of trying to get away at this point.
Okay.
Looks pretty good actually so far. Sorry, give me a
That's okay.
minute.
It takes a while to learn how to count these things up.
2 successes and 1 advantage.
2 successes and 1 advantage?
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to punch further away from them. They're going to have an incredible time being able to keep up with you as you are zipping through these thick black clouds, which is going to mean that I have about 1 more chance. How many advantage did you have?
2.
2? Okay, so I'm going to say that I'm going to...
No, wait, 1 advantage. Wait, hold on. I said it. Yeah, 2 advantage.
Okay, so I'm going to say that gives me a hard check to try to hit you.
2 success, 1
So
advantage.
I'm throwing 4 dice to try to hit you at this point because you're just becoming... You're too far away at this point.
Okay.
So I'm going to flip a token. Boop. And I'm going to flip another token.
No, can I flip 1 back?
So you can never flip the same token twice. But you have enough that you can totally... I'll just start moving them down the board, right?
I see.
So,
Makes
okay,
sense.
so that means this is now a red.
Okay.
I have a targeting computer. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, I didn't use it. Holy crap. Yes. Yes, king. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have major disadvantage.
Great.
I have minus 4 disadvantage, but I have 3 hits on you. Which means that I am going to deal 9 points of damage to your hull, which is going to render you at 0. However, I want you to do a piloting check immediately against difficulty 4.
Can I have 1 more purple, please?
And would you like to upgrade any of your skills?
Yes.
Okay, so just 1?
Just 1.
All right. As you are zooming through the cloud cover, one of the ties comes up behind you where you didn't think they could be, and fires 2 long-range bolts into your rear. One of your engines explodes, incinerating the last of your R2 unit, and you will start death spiraling. Go ahead and make me a roll.
Nope. Oh, well, 1 success.
All you
And
need is
1
one to not die.
Disadvantage.
Okay, and as you sail through the sky, you got a minus 3.
2 disadvantage, sorry, 2 disadvantage.
2 disadvantage is plenty.
Yeah. and
So
1 success.
you receive a total of... they had 3 disadvantage on their roll.
Yeah.
Or 3 threat, I should say.
Threat.
And is it threat?
I think it's threat.
It is threat,
Now
yeah.
that
It's
you're
the
saying
same as Star Wars.
Yeah, makes sense.
As you sail through the air, you are going to do the only thing you can. You have no engines, you have no thrust, but you do have momentum. So instead of sailing through the cloud cover, you turn yourself into a nosedive, blocking breaking away from them as quickly as possible, and in the thickness of the clouds, you lose them with that much advantage and momentum.
Okay.
As you sail downwards, falling like a dart, you see the dark water of the planet rising up to meet you, and you brace yourself as you are consumed by black.
Rip. Rip aura.
You probably landed somehow. Okay, meanwhile, we're going to cut again. The screen wipes to the right. And we can see that in this strange world, let's see. It's an average day. Who's your family? Your mother, your father, your brothers? Christine, who do you live with? Or are you on your own?
I probably live with my family. I would say mother, father, and 2 younger brothers.
Okay. Your mother.
I'm thinking much younger, like late surprise babies.
Okay. Your mother calls out to you. Karis,
Yes,
some officers are here to see you.
I'll be right there. Packing all my mechanic stuff back in the box. And
You live in this large, spiral, corkscrewing apartment complex that reaches down into the earth. More of a hovel than anything, but it wasn't always this way. Before the Empire, before the dark times, in your childhood, back when the Empire pretended to be a partner, you remember what it was like to live above ground, to see the sun. But 15 years ago, Orebos was changed, converted into a strip mining planet. Stripping it for minerals, precious metals, and other things for the factories on the far side of the world, all under the hand of Moff Oberon Mott, the Moth of this system. The planetary governor, a woman named Asori Lars, rules with an iron fist, but for you, for the planetary inhabitants that were here beforehand, the Orebosians, it's fair. Fair enough. You're not like the others. The POWs, the captured ones. The ones who have to wear the collars or armbands and work the mines. As you grab your things from your cluttered, claustrophobic apartment and hop down off your top bunk, where do you go?
I guess out to wherever the voice was coming from.
As you approach the front door, it's slid wide open, and you can see out into the railing that leads. It's a large circular concrete railing, and if you look over it, you can see down. You're on the 30th floor of this. 30 floors from the basement level, at least. It's a steep fall, and beyond that 3-foot-high railing, there are no protective measures. Ahead of you, you can see dozens and dozens of people milling around, carrying large bags, all of them slicked with oil and dirt. Droids hover in the expansive open air between the apartments, carrying things up and down. Sometimes food, usually ores and minerals from the lower depths. For even the base of the apartment is not free from the mining operation. Why waste perfectly good space? If it's carcinogenic, you can always purchase a gas mask from the Empire. As you lead yourself down to the front door, your mother looks at you with a slightly worried expression. She still remembers what it was like before, but you, maybe not so much. You know that the best chance to get off of this world is to join the Imperial Academy. A spot on Compnor, the Imperial secret security, well, not so secret, diplomatic security would be another way of calling it, would be a good place to be. And as you look at her worried face, you can see the battered armor of a pair of stormtroopers at the front door, their blaster rifles strung over their backs. Well, are you coming or not?
Yes.
We have orders to bring you to Captain Anders.
Understood?
Move along.
She moves along.
The stormtroopers bring you. Now, Captain Anders, is a woman that you had, if not befriended, charmed would be a way of saying it. You had made yourself useful to her on a number of occasions. And that will not be forgotten. The Empire does remember useful people, regardless of what you think of them. The troopers silently lead you through the grottos and the spiraling screw. There are no stairs, just a screwing ramp. If someone were to fall here drunkenly, they would fall for a long time. Hold on. One of them raises their hand, and a huge beast, the size of a woolly mammoth, but with scaled flesh, dragging a wagon full of some type of prickled melon, will slowly be ushered in front of you by a grizzled old Twi'lek. Grau, ikute botai. Barata bem? Melon?
No, thank you.
Prickle melon for my trooper friends. He picks one up, holding the yellowish fruit out. We don't want a melon. Move along. I kind of want a melon. He wants a melon. For my friends. He gives the second stormtrooper the melon.
He just walks along with it under his arm.
I got a melon. Why do I picture James under that right now? It just seems like a thing. Anyway,
I was thinking more Chris.
depending on the game, they're the same person.
Fair enough.
You are led down into the Imperial encampment at the base. The mining operation. Now, the mining operation screws deeper than the apartment complex, but that bottom floor has an administrative center, as well as a jail and a correction facility. It does correct people. And as you enter, you will see the doors shush open in front of you. For those of you who are listening on podcast, I made a noise into my glass of water and sprayed water all over my face because I'm a Foley artist now. As the door opens, a woman in a smart Imperial captain's uniform turns. Would you do me a favor? Describe Keita Anders for me.
Human?
Yes.
I'm thinking tall, slender, but in a muscular way.
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of very martial artist whipcord thin sort of look.
Mm-hmm. How old do you think? 30s, 40s?
I'd say late 30s going into 40s.
Mm-hmm. What color hair?
I'm thinking dark brown.
Okay. And eye color.
Kind of muddy, hazily green.
And the final question I have about Keita Anders before I introduce her. Which accent does she have in the Star Wars canon? Does she have Imperial British? Is she American? Like, what kind of voice are we talking about?
I think the Imperial British.
Ah! Karis. She turns and looks at you.
Captain.
I was hoping that you could help me with something today.
Of course.
I received this, and she'll reach down and pick up a data pad and hold it out to you. You can see that it's an application for the Imperial Academy. Yours.
Yes, I just put that in.
I noticed that it was lacking something crucial.
Oh?
Sponsorship.
Yes, nobody I had approached had been willing.
Perhaps we can fix that. But first, before we discuss that, I was wondering if you could help me with a small problem that I had.
Of course.
Please, come with me. She leads you down a hallway, the door shushing behind you. The stormtroopers stay in the main lobby, and as she walks, your eyes are drawn to the sighted blaster at her hip. It's rare to see Imperial officers strapped down here. Well, maybe not down here, but in general.
She's a working officer.
She takes precautions. She leads you down a hallway into a room with a thick glass window. You can see that there are two figures on the other side with bags put over their heads. Two stormtroopers in battered elite armor stand inside of that room. As you enter, a man who's waiting on this side of the glass stands up from a chair. He is freckled, in his mid-40s, and a bit thick around the waist. He speaks with a rolling Irish brogue. Brogue? Lilt? What does an Irish person have?
Brogue.
Brogue? Yeah. I almost said baroque, and I'm like, he's baroque.
Baroque?
Captain! Who might this be?
Hello, I'm Karis.
Lieutenant O'Brien.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Yeah. Well, I stole him. That's fine. Parsec O'Brien.
Lieutenant O'Brien canonically hates aliens, so it really fits.
It's
in the
it's
Imperial
great.
model.
It's super good. What do we have here, Lieutenant? Well, we've been finding that there are a number of contraband items moving around the gulag portion of the mining operation. As you can see, and he leans over a table and strips back a piece of cloth. Underneath of it, you can see that it has a sight and various parts for a blaster. The only thing it's missing is the firing pin.
It's only missing the pin.
Very perceptive. Aye, he's got a good eye on her.
It's not too hard to make either, so...
These men were in the lower sector. One of them is responsible for these smugglings. Indeed. Which is why I've brought Miss Soul here. You also were doing mechanical work down there. I was wondering if you saw anything. Did you? You know you did. Remove their bags. On the other side of the glass, the stormtroopers step forward, stripping the black bags off of the two figures' heads. One of them has greenish blue skin and a dripping, lengthy snout. A Rhodian. It's been pretty heavily beaten. One of its eyes is swollen. The other man
He has a face that might resemble a rat, although he is human. A large nose and sallow cheeks from years of malnutrition. Lank hair sort of hangs down his face when the bag comes off. Mid-length, maybe shoulder length. Given the treatment of the Rhodian, he probably received the same. So he's looking fairly worse for wear. As the bag comes off, the light from whatever horrible fluorescence I'm sure the Imperials use
absolutely
hits the eyelids, and
you are staring at a reflective black wall. You imagine that it must be a one-way mirror.
I wait.
Okay.
I assume there's stormtroopers in the room and things.
There are
Someone
two.
pulled
There
the
are
bag
two
out.
elites next
Yeah.
to you. One next to you. One next
Yeah.
to the Rhodian. The Rhodian that you know as. This is a fellow person from the lowdown named Tibin Mar. You are not friends. In fact, he may be trying to muscle in on your business. He's a local thug.
I make casual side eyes at him as, you know.
Quiet, you. Do you recognize either of these men?
Do I?
You recognize him.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever interacted before? Describe yourself, by the way. Does she have your hair color and basic look?
You know what? Sure.
Okay.
She's got pink hair. It's gonna be fairly dark pink. It's probably a bit like greasy, as in she's gotten like legit grease from mechanic stuff into it, and didn't have time to clean up when she was summoned. Yeah. Tall, not too tall. I mean, average.
Okay.
Average human height.
Sounds good.
5'6".
And this is, despite Neil's protests, you're all Star Wars good looking.
We're just so
Along that nose, like an idol singer.
Ooh. Have you seen the actor who plays Brutus? No, that man has a nose. He's also very attractive.
Brutus?
Tobias Menzies. That's his name.
Is that's
We'll have to look that up.
I strongly encourage you to do so in your free time.
Free time, what's that?
so Menzies.
I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, from The Crown.
He's in many things.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, actually,
that's you right there.
that is definitely a bit of a ratty look, but also surprisingly attractive.
Yeah, he's very craggy.
Mm-hmm.
He's handsome. So Tobias Menzies, you have been cast in this show. Congrats.
Congratulations, sir.
Now the ladies have to figure it out. Alternatively, you could just go the other direction and just be a Matt Smith. But you're too short for that, I think. All right. So have you ever had dealings in the past with each other, or just know about each other from a distance, perhaps?
I think probably a connection of some sort would be fun. Why not?
I am a purveyor of mechanical goods.
Yeah.
And
Maybe you've had something I've needed, like, damn it, I need that pen.
yeah.
And you happen to have parts and stuff.
Wait,
and
what if he had something that you could have... Maybe you took some parts away from something you were salvaging and sold them for extra food money or extra food or something like that.
Yeah, just some subtle little bits here and there.
Whereas the Rhodian, You've seen him intimidating people around the streets.
Being a bit of a tough.
Mm-hmm. Even down in the gulag area, he has been shaking people down, beating people. You saw what he did to... Actually, I don't even want to get into it.
And this was earlier today? I was somewhere that...
This would have been probably yesterday?
Yesterday? Okay. I recognize both of them, but the Rhodian I saw yesterday down by Sector 9.
Sector 9.
Yeah.
We did find some parts moving through Sector 9 as well.
Didn't think much of it. He didn't look like he was doing anything at the time.
You said
But
that
he
this
was
wouldn't-
there. He wasn't doing anything.
Probably just looks that way to you. Which one of these two men would be the type to smuggle this type of dangerous contraband?
I would say the Rhodian. He's always getting into fights down there.
I would
Beating
concur.
folks up. I would imagine he'd be the type to stockpile weapons. He seems like the agitator.
You say that blaster would be easy to assemble
Yeah,
if you had a firing pin.
not hard, yeah.
Lieutenant, provide a firing pin. Absolutely, ma'am. He'll reach into a kit and hand you a firing pin. I'll be timing you.
Can I mechanics roll
Yes,
that?
you may. Yes, you may. Do this against standard difficulty.
So is that 2 difficulty?
2 difficulty because you are under some stress right now because you're being
Okay.
watched.
And it's mechanics intellect.
Don't forget to roll your 2 purple dice.
Oh, I did.
Oh, did you? Is that what you rolled?
Maybe I
Okay.
just put- Here, I'll roll. That's better than what was there. Okay, so that's 4 successes and 1 advantage.
Net? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So you quickly assemble this in under 20 seconds. You have clicked all of the pieces into place. And she looks at it. Very impressive. Most impressive. Let's see whether or not your handiwork holds up to the test. And she will walk through the side door and into the room. A woman with brown hair and a severe face with a lithe but muscular build enters, dressed in the blacks of an imperial officer.
Do I recognize her? Actually, you know what? Whether I recognize her or not, eyes down deferentially.
I think at this point she's starting to recognize where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
And having lived in this colony for so long, she's probably seen a lot of violence at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's going to very, determinedly, not going to show anything. Because Lieutenant O'Brien?
leans up. Yeah.
would probably be watching.
Lieutenant leans over next to your ear. Don't look away, love. You don't recognize the woman as she enters, but you do recognize what's in her hand. It was the blaster parts that you were smuggling. She walks up to you, holds the blaster barrel first toward your face. What's your name, prisoner?
Mox Karis, ma'am.
Mox, do you know what this is?
Well, no expert on weapons, but it seems to be a blaster.
Do you know where this came from?
Personally, I have no notion of where someone would procure a blaster. I mean, it's in your hand, so presumably Imperial storeroom. Not No disrespect meant.
Such a dirty weapon would never go through my storeroom. Well. You are a loyal servant of the Empire.
Of course.
This is Imperial property. One of you smuggled these parts in. Luckily, we have an eyewitness that can confirm who that person was. I apologize. Who that prisoner was. Imperial property should be regularly checked, and she will hand you the blaster barrel in her hand.
Well, I assume I'm not like manacled or anything.
No.
Okay. I will take the blaster and sort of hold it the way that I would hold a gun, which is I have no idea what I'm doing with it.
Test it on the smuggler.
Yeah. Like very slowly. And I look at her one more time. And I look at him. And I pull the trigger.
And it's quick. One blast to the face. And the Rhodian falls down dead, tumbling out of the chair, taking it with him.
I will watch him flinch just a littlest bit at the sound. But I'm putting everything into holding steady.
She reaches out with a gloved hand for the blaster.
I'll turn it and hand it back to her, like, grip first.
Excellent test. I'll make sure that you receive extra rations tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Your generosity is unmatched.
This smuggler apparently was able to procure a decent stock. It's good that he's been eliminated.
Naturally, of course.
Take him out of here, and she'll walk out of the room. And as she does, the door will open, and through a bit of that reflection, as you are lifted by the stormtroopers and carried off, you will see her approach Karis, who is sitting in a chair, a little white-faced. And as you are carried off through a side door and set free on the streets, the door will shut behind you, and she will approach you, Karis. Excellent work.
If I'm sitting and she approaches, I'll stand up again and... Captain.
Keep up the good work, and you can consider my recommendation a done deal.
Thank you. Of course.
As you were. You can show yourself out.
She will keep nodding, like bobbing. Thank you.
Lieutenant, get rid of this piece of junk. She'll toss the blaster into the lieutenant's lap, and he will jerk slightly, catching it as the blaster bolt or the blaster barrel is still somewhat hot. You will head out of the building, and as you do, you'll feel a beep on the little device you keep strapped to your arm for your call jobs. Looks like some salvage operation. They have today. They have you on ocean duty. All right. Night falls, and you find yourself out on the water. A stiff rain falls all around you. The ocean roils as you are out there on your as you are out on your hover cart. A wave laps at the bottom of the vehicle. And do you have a droid?
Yeah.
And describe this droid for me.
I I'm thinking it's one of those, not R2-D2, but the more kind of square-headed ones.
Is that an R4?
It's like, it's got the flat top and the kind of circular head, but flat-sided more. The ones that always basically crap out whenever it's like the
Okay,
worst
so
moment possible.
So here are the astromech models.
R5.
R5 or R6? I'm thinking R6.
Oh, the R7s look very good. So
Well, yeah, those are the R2, like, D2 types.
no,
Shape.
R2's R2.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
but
do you want an R9 or an R6?
I'm going to say R6 because it looks more beat up.
Okay. And what's its name? Does it have a full name? Is it just an R6 unit?
R6. Maybe it's got a full name. I just call it R6 all the time, I think.
Okay. Do you want me just to generate a last name?
Sure.
Uh,
I mean, E2?
E2? I was going to say 2N.
2N?
R6 2N.
Sure.
Because it vaguely sounds like Arsene Lupin. Gentleman thief. Behind you, your astromech droid coos at you as you sail out into the ocean. Most of this planet is ocean, and as you move across the water, you see that there are bits of debris washed up among some of the brine.
Employ the net. Sort it all out later.
All right. As you are sorting through it, you will see that it looks like there's some type of. Make me a. Would it be vigilance for investigation in this or perception? Probably perception.
I would say perception.
Make me a perception roll.
Okay. Perception is cut. What am I rolling against?
Just standard.
That's two
Oh,
successes.
Add 2 blues. Because our R6 is there.
All right. So that's 3 successes, one of which is a triumph.
Okay. So glancing around in the water, you're going to see actually quite a few bits of debris.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is going to be... Everything here is coated in this crystalline laced seaweed. It's this strange lattice work, almost like a net of organic matter. And as you look down, you will notice, just as your droid does, there's a looks like an entire computer bank,
Huh.
and attached to it, there's something glittering in the water.
Try and pull it up.
Sure. It is a small gem.
Oh.
It's violet in color. A crystal about the size of... Not terrible. About the size of your thumb joint.
Pretty.
Looks like it was attached to some chassis. Barely attached. You can pry it out.
Yeah.
Cool. And as you do that, you will look around, see if there's anything else like this, any other bright shapes. And in the darkness, your speeder will just slowly move around, scanning with bright white headlights into the darkness. Your R6 looks over at you and looks down at the pocket that you just put that into.
What? It's not valuable. Don't recognize it as any of the power crystals. It's pretty. I'm still a girl, okay?
It looks down at its own body. You can tell its camera scans itself.
And you're still a droid. You're not gonna rust. I waterproofed you yesterday. Boy!
And with that, you'll notice another bright shape in the water.
I will go try and pull it up, whatever it is.
As you move over to it, it's not a reflective surface. It's not a gem. It's a light. Something with a power cell is underwater.
Huh. Well, let's see if we can pull that up.
You have a magnetic clamp on the front of this speeder. Or vessel, I don't even know what the hell you'd call this thing, or like a hover raft. And as you engage it, you will hear crunk, and the raft pulls forward. Whatever it is quite heavy.
Big whatever it is.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and make me a mechanics roll to see if you can encourage your system to lever it properly.
Okay, so that's at a regular 2?
It's going to be at a 3. However, don't forget to use the force. It is your destiny.
Sure, why not? I'm gonna
Okay.
borrow one of Neil's yellows.
Sounds good.
Sorry, you're in the middle.
Okay. So 3 threat,
That is apt.
2 successes, one of which is a triumph.
Well, damn. All right, so you are going to be able to leverage onto this. And as you do, you're going to find that this is pretty draining to your battery. And the raft is going to shake violently from side to side as it clamps on. You're going to find that you slip toward the edge, and actually R6 is going to roll. And as you clamp on and lift up, the raft is going to pitch backwards, and R6 is going to slip and tumble over the edge into the water.
Shit! We still waterproofed him.
He also can float. You will hear the sound of a small jet into the water as he slowly emerges.
I'm sure we have like a ramp that goes underwater that he can float up onto enough to get back up.
And slowly
This has probably happened frequently.
he will make his way back up with an upset.
Told you to clamp in. Yeah, and this happened last week too. I know you don't like the clamp, but come on. That was rude.
He'll go back to like...
See if I waterproof you next week.
And then he will go back to basically drying himself off via some of the mechanical devices that you have on board. You'll see like a tiny little arm go grab a towel and start polishing himself. And it's at that point you turn around to see what you've clamped. The nose of a fighter sticks out of the water. That's an X-wing. You've read about those.
See pictures in textbooks.
The best thing is, this is remarkably preserved. In fact, and then as you get a glance at it, the mucky, corrosive water of the ocean would have eaten through its paint and into its hull by now.
This is fresh.
The lights are even still on. And as you bring it up, do you shine a light toward it?
Yeah.
You can see through the cockpit glass, which is cracked but still holding, there's someone inside.
Oh, crap.
What do you do?
I will try and get it close enough to the raft to open.
Okay.
And get them out, see if they're dead.
Sure. It is locked, but you can take some time and prop it open. Pulling out your toolkit, you'll make short work and pry open the cockpit. And there is someone inside. They're battered and unconscious, but still alive. Caitlin, describe yourself.
She is a rather petite, young 20-year-old. Looks rather tough though, with brunette hair pulled back into a ponytail, with glasses on for safety. Although you can't really tell she's on glasses. I guess you can't tell. Anyway. And she looks pretty scuffed up. Pretty beat.
I'm gonna pull her flight helmet and the glasses off and start kind of smacking her cheeks to try and see if she'll wake up.
She will not. What do you do?
Well, I get her out of the craft at least and onto my...
Sounds good. You'll be able to remove her, and are you taking anything from inside of there as well? You'll see that there's a light blaster strapped to the inside, as well as it looks like a couple of other things, like there's... that's a medical kit, like an emergency medical kit with a logo you've never seen before. Kind of shaped like you'd imagine an anchor.
I'll put it off to one side. I'll put the blaster off to one side as well. I will pull the firing pin and just put that in my pocket. So if she wakes up and grabs it from behind me,
You can also take the power cell out.
Sure, whatever.
Well, whichever you feel. I think it's quicker to put the power cell back in than it is to put the firing pin back in, even with your rolls.
Sure, whatever works.
All right. So you will take the power cell out, and as you are doing that, you will see... Let's find out what you see. Okay. Make me a vigilance roll. Would you like to increase anything?
So when I don't have any vigilance...
You roll the stat associated with vigilance in green dice.
Okay.
And then you roll it against... it's really dark out here, so I'm going to give this to you at a 1. Difficulty 1.
Okay. I'm done. Let's try this. 2 successes, 1 disadvantage.
Okay.
Or 1 threat.
As you load her up onto your raft, R6 looks down at you and then back up. Not really sure what to make of this.
I don't know. This is odd.
And then in the distance you can see shafts of light piercing down into the water about 2, maybe 3 clicks away. Piercing through the heavens like the sun had burst through, but this is evening. This is going on till night. Search ships. They're scanning the water. Huge beams of light, bigger around than your raft, sweeping up and down the water. What do you do?
They're probably searching for her. She's the weirdest thing I've seen so far. I'm gonna let the ship fall back into the water, because you know what? I'm not sure I want to get tangled in whatever this is.
So, as you release it, Your droid chirps at you, kind of alarmed, and with a, "What are you doing?"
Not sure we want that level of notoriety. We'll let them find it. I don't want to fight for salvage.
It uncomfortably agrees with you. And as it approaches, I'm assuming that you take off?
Yeah, I'll back off and go up to the other chunk of my quadrant.
Okay. Where will you be taking her? You could easily get her home in your transport cart.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just put her under some junk.
Kind of run through the options in my head. Like,
Okay. Meanwhile, let's skip across the sector.
not disappoint Captain Henders. But also, as far as I can tell, you haven't really done anything wrong. You could have just maybe bought an old X-Wing.
Yeah, Poor life decisions.
Poor life decisions all around. That's the name of the game. Alright, so we'll be back to you in just a couple of minutes. In the meanwhile, rainwater is falling steadily down into the lower complex, into the tunnels beneath. And Mox shuffles along. There's a long queue to get through the square frame that scans for blaster parts, other weapons. One of the stormtroopers opens a second queue. You there! Come closer!
Shuffle up.
Get through!
Advance through the frame.
A red light scans over your frame, over your body, and then a green light dings. Move along! You! Come over here! They say to the one behind you.
I shuffle off more quickly than I shuffled through.
Where do you go?
I head back, down to what I assume is sort of the ragtag assemblage of prisoner quarters.
Yeah,
So-
down to the lowdown.
Yeah, down to the lowdown. To the half-formed living spaces made up of, whatever can be salvaged, scraped together.
All right. As you go down there, what do you do? All around you, you can see the basic life that these prisoners have made for themselves. People carrying various creatures. I forget what they're called, but the little things that were with Jabba the Hutt, type of things. You can see 6 of them roasting on a spit.
Oh.
A couple of people bump into you. A couple of other people wave at you.
I'll wave back to the others, but I have one destination in mind.
Where's that?
That is sort of a dark, discarded corner where there happens to be a crate of blaster parts. And I will, slip as quickly and as quietly as I can through the crowd, trying to get there thinking that if they found this, I either need to move things, whether that's to other people or to another place,
All right.
somewhere safer.
I would like a skullduggery roll from you, because I don't think stealth is a thing, is it?
It is.
Yes.
Oh, goddamn, both are things.
Yeah.
Which one is better for you?
Skullduggery.
Let's see skullduggery, because it involves slinking and looking non-suspicious, and it's kind of stealthy, but this is also kind of sneaky stealthy. Are you going to do anything? You know what? There are going to be eyes on you. Why don't we upgrade one of your purples to a red?
All right.
Do you want to buy any of yours up?
no.
Okay.
Without confidence. All right. 3 successes,
Mhm.
but 2 threat.
Okay. As you move through, you make your way through the crowd, sneaking and kind of throwing some off your scent. But as you move, you can see that there's a Tradoshan who eyes you warily as you pass. And you feel a couple of eyes on you as you're moving. They're thinking, where's Tibin Mar, the Rhodian? You were both nabbed at the same time. And as you round a corner, you'll actually hear someone say that. I thought he was taken with Tibin Mar. Yeah, well, you know what that means if only one of them comes back.
I look at the individuals speaking.
Denobulin, the devil guys.
Zabrak.
No, not Zabrak. Yeah, sure, Zabrak.
Okay.
But there's another one. Starts with the D. But this is a Zabrak.
Okay.
Kind of looks at you and licks his fangs.
I flash him a winning smile and go, some people are just lucky, I guess.
You know what? I'm gonna flip a light side point for you because I like that.
And
That's one of your catchphrases. Man.
and I do the yeah, and then with a slightly faster pace, duck off through the crowd. Knowing now that eyes are on me, I will see if I can collect these extra rations I was promised before I go do other things. Because, Captain Anders was like, have some extra rations. I'll collect my extra rations. I may look like some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Stoolie.
Yeah, but better stoolie than laser bait.
That's true. All right, so you wait in the cafeteria line, and it takes a few minutes, but as you scan up, the the uplifted prisoner who's allowed to work behind the cafeteria line looks at the readout. Extra half portion. Thump. Slides it across the counter.
I will collect whatever sort of bland nutrition bar is provided.
Basically a gray puck.
Perfect.
Gray puck and a half.
Yeah, that's an extra half puck. And I'll go, thank you kindly, sir. And I'll walk away gnawing on the half puck, but the full puck goes in.
No puck for you. You hear behind you as you walk away. But I'm hungry. You've already eaten once today. That's enough for you. But I lost it. You glance over your shoulder and there's a young boy of about 6 or 7, dressed in rags.
I will go and sit at a table in the cafeteria and enjoy my half puck.
Oh. Good. Set yourself up as a scoundrel for the audience. That'll make the turn better in 2 sessions.
Once I've consumed a half puck, I slip back out into the darkness to find a crate of weapons, and I assume non-standard or extra clothes. You mass clothing, right?
Yeah.
Get on some, or assuming I get there, get on some heavy clothes.
You will be able to make it there without a problem, actually.
All right.
With that triumph you rolled, right? You rolled.
No, 2 successes.
Yeah, still it's
3.
pretty good. You'll be able to stealthily move and thieve your way over to where you've hidden it in some panels or something like that. Probably in an old life support unit or something like that.
Did you say prisoners here have neck collars?
They've got, they honestly look like those weird headphones that we have right now. You know, the headphones that wrap around your neck and play music up?
Oh god, that's horrifying. And no, I didn't know that existed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do, and they're really weird. Basically they're like U-shaped collars.
Okay. So I imagine extra clothing, but the thing that I would like to have is some scrap of cloth, maybe not even a scarf, but something worn around the neck in sort of this vain attempt to show, like, ha, I have defeated your prison system through basic battle.
Absolutely. And the thing is that you can take these off.
Oh, okay.
You just don't want to.
Fair.
It's like, to draw comparisons to history, you want to wear whatever marks your enslavers give you.
Yeah.
And that's as much as I'm going to go into that.
Yeah. But yes, so this supply of blaster pistols, which I'm sure Mox is hoping is many, but as his player, I'm hoping is few, so that I can move it more carefully.
Mm-hmm.
And from the box, I will pull out like a small holdout pistol, so like stub nose, very small, and tuck it under all my layers somewhere in the back. And then I'll start. Mox, if you're going to cut away, Mox is sitting there sort of desperately looking at these pistols and starts just like, looking around trying to find anywhere else that they can be.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. Now, the screen wipes again, and we find ourselves back. Where are we? Are we back at your house? It's probably one of the only safe places you have.
Yeah.
She's pretty young and naive. She doesn't know what this will lead to.
Yep.
All right. So in that case, I'm actually going to not switch to you. The last thing you remember is the rising water, black and imposing. It swallows you. You feel your body surge forward and then back. And then you hear a slow drip. A leak in the roof dribbles water down into a large bowl nearby. You're laying on a bed, covered with a thin but not completely threadbare blanket. It smells like iron filings and dirt, and a bit of a sharpness of mold mixed with vinegar and other cleaning agents. What do you do? Your flight helmet's not on you.
Sorry?
Your flight helmet's not on you. Are her clothes on her? Or is she wearing something like a slip?
Well, if she was wearing one of those bright orange flight suits, yeah, I probably took it off.
Okay.
Put her in a rough pair of pants and a shirt.
Okay, you're wearing clothes that are a little baggy on you, but somehow still work according to the laws of fiction.
Perfect. And I don't have any of my equipment with me, hey? It's all gone.
Now, as far as you can tell.
Oh, shoot. Turn towards the sound.
A girl walks into the room.
Get defensive.
Whoa. Hey.
She's carrying a tray with some food on it.
Where is this? Where am I?
What planet are we?
You are on Orebos.
You're on Orebos.
Orebos 2, if you want to be specific, but it's the only Orebos planet that has life on it, so it might as well just be Orebos.
And I remember that was...
That was where...
Yeah.
It'll start coming back to you as you...
Okay.
You were in the ocean, lady.
Right.
What were you doing?
And who are you?
Karis. You were flying a fighter.
Yes.
What the heck?
I scout sometimes.
For who? You don't have, like, the Imperial symbols. You have that weird anchor thing.
Mm-hmm. You don't know what it is?
No,
Mm.
never seen that one before.
Okay. That's... We're far out, hey?
I mean, the Outer Rim.
Yeah. Right. Right. The Imperial symbol, you're saying?
Yeah. Look, am I gonna get in trouble for bringing you back?
No. Well,
Are you sure?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. What is the... What do you know of the Empire on this area?
I mean, it's the Empire. Like, they basically got the whole galaxy. Look, if this is gonna get me in trouble, like,
No.
Captain Anders was gonna sponsor me. The only way to get off this planet is go to Academy.
Well, you know for a fact there is no academy, and there hasn't been in almost 5 years.
You have an academy?
I mean, what?
Well, the academy.
What was the name again?
Dissolved.
Compnor.
Compnor.
I know it's a really weird name to say. You could just say the academy. You could just say imperial intelligence, whatever you'd like to get into.
The Compnor Academy is off-world.
Do I know?
I think it's
this
in the
one
inner.
particular?
Compnor was a diplomatic and security force ran by the Empire.
Yeah.
They don't exist anymore, at least not in any definable way. The Empire shattered at the Battle of Jakku, and the few Moffs that had set up their own empires, their own micro-empires, had found themselves destroyed by infighting. There were theorized to be some still on the verges of space. But you hadn't expected to find one.
That academy doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what they're telling you.
Okay, you must got hit harder than I thought.
No. Have you ever been off this planet?
No, that's why I want to go to the Academy.
Yeah. Do you believe everything you're told?
I mean, no.
Christine,
Yeah.
roll me the white dice.
2 white.
Perfect. As you listen to her words, you feel honesty. There's something in her eyes that confirms a fear that you didn't know had been rooted in your heart for some time. You believe she's telling the truth, and you can't define why you feel this way, just that there's something inherently honest about the exchange.
So if it's not there, what happened? It was there. Unless they made it all up.
No, at one point it existed. It's
What
no
happened
longer
then?
an academy.
What's that symbol? It's all over your flight suit.
Yeah.
And your helmet. And your ship. And all the crap in your ship.
Yeah.
I mean, overkill? But what the hell does it mean?
So, it was part of the rebellion.
The New Republic
The
now.
New Republic, sorry.
What?
We are against the Empire. And in most of the galaxy. What?
Just sudden, kind of wide-eyed, like,
And with that,
what?
suddenly the loudspeakers in the hallway will surge to life.
People of Oberon 2, this is a message from Asori Lars, your governor. Please pay attention.
A woman's voice comes over the radio. People of Oberos 2, greetings. I'm here to inform you that an enemy of the state is among you. This individual is wanted for acts of terrorism against the Empire, sedition, and murder. They may be hiding among you. Keep your eyes open for any strange, unusual, or traitorous behavior. Loyalty, as always, will be generously rewarded. Loudspeakers will fade out, leaving just the two of you staring at each other in the room.
Thought you said you weren't trouble.
And I'm going to call game there, I think. All right. Find out what happens next time on Star Wars. We will see you soon. Thank you for tuning into Dork Tales. Have a fantastic night. What'd you think, guys? Did you have a good first session?
Yeah.
That was
You're gonna get
awesome.
my family killed!
Oh, it's so true. Everybody gonna die.
No!
Then you will be a true protagonist.
It's true. That's how it happens. You already
I
have
shall be the hero!
you have the colored hair, which means you're an anime protagonist
do.
already.
Oh shit. I'm the main character.
That's not true. You're all the main characters because Neil's character turned out to be handsome.
Despite my best efforts.
Despite your best efforts, because it's a movie and we all have to be handsome. Because Adam Driver got surprisingly handsome.
Yeah.
Right? It's interesting because he's got a very...
Actually, big nose, still handsome.
Yeah, but you can't be Adam Driver. He's already taken.
Let me live my best life.
All right. See you all next time. Bye.
Bye.